Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of the Cerebral Smack Talk live on YouTube and StreamYard.com. It's Girl MF, Michael Flecha, alongside the guys, Anthony Florio, Michael Bullock. And gentlemen, we're just going to dive right on in. We got a lot to talk about here tonight. Obviously, we got TNA Impact. We also got Friday Night Smackdown, and we also got NXT Vengeance Day to cover here tonight. So not a lot of time, but we're just going to dive right on in. Let's start out with TNA. With TNA Impact, we did start the show out from the Gateway Center in Atlanta, Georgia, and we started with the first fight of the evening, as it was Jody Threat going up against Ariana Grace with the TNA Knockouts title on the line. Winner of the bout in 5 minutes and 33 seconds, and still the TNA Knockouts champion, Ariana Grace. It was an okay matchup. I mean, it could have been better, but I don't mind it. Ariana's done pretty well. I mean, she's getting better in the ring. I'm not going to say she's been, amazing, but, she's done a good job, solid performance. This was about maybe, I want to say about 2 stars more than anything else, 2.25. Maybe even you could even make an argument for maybe 2.5, but it's really nothing more to say. 5:33 is a short amount of time. Fun little sprint. Okay, I'll give you that. But, Ariana winning the match, no big surprise. The right outcome was Ariana winning this. So I can, like I said, about 2.25. That's my rating. Anthony Florio, come on in. It's all yours, brother.
All right, MF. Well, I'll tell you, MF, the match itself was pretty generic, but the interesting part here was all of the women coming out to watch. It was a good chunk of the Knockouts division being out there, possibly scouting the less than great champion, and that has potential. Jody Threat was only so thrilling as a challenger, but that was not the point here. I'll give this right around that 2.25, 2.5 threshold. I think that's the appropriate rating for this. No big surprise of Ariana retaining. So, nothing really more to say on that. So with that being said, MF, let's move on to our next relevant thing here.
All right, the next one we had was a fatal 4-way. The winners gets a shot at the TNA World Tag Team titles. It was the System of BDE and Rich Swann, the Righteous, and Sinner and Saint, and the winner of the bout in 8 minutes and 32 seconds, earning the TNA Tag Team title of a shot. The System. They win the match. Anthony, it is yours.
Makes perfect sense to me because Eddie Edwards already has the world title opportunity by virtue of the Feast or Fired case he won weeks ago. 8:33, I'll give this around 2.5, 2.75. Fun 4-way tag where they kept things moving quickly enough to avoid things getting bogged down. I like the System winning, as they are supposed to be the big heel threat, meaning putting them in the title contention is a good thing. Other than that, BDE continues to do better than he should be doing, and having him put people over is a fine way to use him. So, 2.5, 2.75 for this. MF, System. Eddie Edwards already has that world title briefcase from Feast or Fired, and now Brian Myers and Bear Bronson with an opportunity at the tag titles down the line. Maybe Cedric down the line gets the X Division shot down the road. Who knows?
Yeah. And like you said, that might open the door for them to be the most powerful team or the next powerful force in all of professional wrestling. We'll see how that plays out. Yeah, I agree with you. This was about, 2.25, 2.5. I think it was a fine matchup. Nothing more to say. Then we had a whole bunch of promo stuff. The next legitimate match we had was Elena Black going one-on-one with Mari Sad, and Elena Black winning the match in 7 minutes and 23 seconds. This was marred by a little bit of some controversy at the end, but, it was a fine matchup. Again, another maybe 2.25 star rating for this. Could have been higher, but because of the dusty finish at the end, I'm just going to give it a 2.25 star match. And Anthony, it is all yours as Elena Black gets a big win here.
2.5 for me. Mara Sade continues to be a nice surprise as she went from little more than a tag wrestler in NXT to someone who feels like she could be a big deal on her own here. On the other hand, you have Elena Black, who comes off like someone who should be a natural star, but isn't quite there. Maybe that changes, but either way, it's nice to have some bright options. Solid 2.5. MF, let's move on.
Next up we had was Nick Nemeth going up against Leon Slater for the X Division title, winner of the bout in 11 minutes and 57 seconds, and still the TNA X Division champion, Leon Slater. But after the match, Eric Young hit the ring and hit Leon with the pile driver. Looks like Leon and Eric might be the next battle for the X Division title. Florio, it is yours.
Fight of the night here, 3.5 stars. Another pin over a former world champion for Leon Slater, who feels like he is becoming one of the big projects around TNA. There are far worse ideas out there as well, as Slater has already become someone to look forward to every week. I could go for seeing how far he can go, as he's already having one of the longest X Division title reigns ever. Great match here, as Leon Slater lives up to the hype again. So there's not much more to add. 3.5 stars. Fight of the night for me. MF, Leon Slater. I think this could be you thought last year was a breakout year? This year could be even bigger at this rate.
Yeah, if he keeps doing what he's doing, he could be. And I really think it's very possible he could be wrestler of the year. Like if he keeps putting, performance after performance after performance. I mean, I know we're in March, but if Leon keeps going the way he's going, I think we might be looking at possible superstar of the year. Like at least in my eyes. So we'll see. But he's put himself in quite some good stories. I'll say that much. Really nothing more to say. I really like what they've been doing. And yeah, there's really nothing more here. There was a promo segment to close the show. We're not going to really go too much into that type of detail. So overall review, it was a fine show. I'm not going to say it was a great show, but I thought they did an all right match. I thought it was an all right show. I'll give this about maybe 7 out of 10. I thought it was like I said, it was another passable show. So Anthony, nothing more to say. 7 out of 10 for me. What says you?
I agree. 7 out of 10 for me as well. Good enough show here, but it's pretty clear that Leon Slater, Mike Santana, and Steve Macklin are miles ahead of pretty much everybody else. There are other talented stars, but most of them either are not around often or they're not doing much. You can see a lot of the sacrifice card from here, and I'm curious about some of the stories, so they're doing something right. Not a great week, but they do have me interested enough for it to be an enjoyable night. The live shows, the first live show, I'll be honest, was a disaster. Second one was a little better. This one was decent. So, we'll have to wait and see on that. So I agree, MF, 7 out of 10. And now we move on to Friday Night Smackdown with a highly anticipated main event here tonight.
Yes,
with major WrestleMania implications, by the way.
Yes, indeed. Highly anticipated, no doubt about that. We did start off with a promo pack. We did start off with, some stuff. Really nothing more to say. It was Randy Orton interrupted by Trick Williams. We're not going to get into that because we're going to get right into the action because that's the way we normally do it on this show. And we started off with a big fight. Carmelo Hayes, the open challenge. Who answers the bell? Well, we went to AAA for this one. The Latin American champion, El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr. calls for the bell, answers the bell, the winner of the bout in 10 minutes and 20 seconds, and still the United States heavyweight champion, Carmelo Hayes, nothing but net to end it. Solid opener, very good matchup. Another 2.5. You can make an argument for 3, but 2.5 to 2 3/4. Good, solid matchup. Yeah, the fans probably didn't know who Elio the Dr. Wagner Jr. was. And shame on you. You should know better. This guy's been killing it in AAA lately, but the match itself was so damn good. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, this was excellent for me. Definitely one of the, I'm not going to say fight of the night, but definitely one of the top, moments of the evening. So yeah, nothing more to say. Anthony Florio, it's all yours, my brother.
3 to 3.25 stars for me here. This was a fun change of pace to have someone from AAA answer the open challenge. Management clearly sees value in Hio del Dr. Wagner Jr., and it wouldn't be surprising to see him make a permanent move to WWE eventually. He and Carmelo Hayes had a solid match that gave both men plenty of chances to shine. Melo continues to be one of the best parts of SmackDown every week. Wagner kicked out of the first 48, but he missed a moonsault and cleared the way for Melo to hit nothing but net for the win. The Insiguri Wagner hit while Melo was on the apron looked great. There was an awkward moment early in the bout when it looked like one or both guys didn't know what they were supposed to do next. And Melo's nothing but net is a great spot. It looks like it would be very easy to mess it up, but he usually hits it with precision. So this was 3 to 3.25 stars for me. And there isn't much more for me to say. So Michael Bullock, come on in, fresh off another one of our legendary SmackDown chats. And we had one hell of a SmackDown chat here tonight. And this was a great way to start it off in ring wise. We know what Melo's capable of, but I'm very curious, Bullock. Your thoughts on Dr. Wagner Jr. there? I mean, I think this might be one of your first times seeing him.
Yeah, I really like what I see from Wagner Jr. I mean, that's why he is the AAA Latin American champion, and he definitely gave Carmelo Hayes all he can handle. But at the end of the day, the champion stays the champion, and you saw the respect Carmelo Hayes gave to Dr. Wagner after the match. So, and I love how WWE is showing off some of the stars from AAA and I hope they continue doing this from not just on their shows, but on the WWE programming too. So we'll see. So 3 stars for me. It's yours, Fletch.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And next up we had was a matchup. It was Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair going up against Julia and Kiana James. Now the winners of this bout becomes the number 1 contenders for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. And it will be Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. They will get the title shot. I don't have the time of the fall at the moment. We can always grab that in a minute. But Anthony, it is indeed yours. Alexa and Charlotte. Charlotte with the natural selection on Julia to get the win, and more importantly, getting the shot at the women's tag team titles.
Yep, they have a chance to become 2-time co-holders of the women's tag team championships when they eventually square off. So taking a look, bear with me for a minute. I'm going to go for the time of the fall here on this one. Bear with me for a moment. I have 10 minutes and 8 seconds. That's what I have. We'll go with 10:08 for the time of the fall, and that would make it about 3, maybe 3.25 once again. All 4 superstars had some good moments, and the match lasted through 2 commercial breaks, so they had ample time to make sure nothing felt rushed. They had a couple hiccups, but most of what we got here was good. And the spot where James and Flair fell down at the same time felt forced, but nonetheless, no surprise here. Charlotte and Alexa, perfect first challengers for Nia and Lash as the tag champions. We'll see how that goes. So give it about 3.25 or so. So not much more to say. Michael Bullock, Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss, my girls getting another shot. Well, they're going to get the first shot at Nia Jax and Lash Legend for those tag team titles.
Yeah, I'm going to give this 3 stars as well. I mean, this was definitely a good match here. I mean, yeah, now they get the first shot at Nia Jackson Lash Legend for those women's tag team titles. I mean, yeah, I mean, you pretty much said what you said, Florio. So let's move on to you, Fletch.
Yeah, this is about 3 stars, no doubt about it. I think they did a fine job with it. Um, for Nia and Lash, this is going to be a tough challenge because when you got Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, that's a dangerous combo. So we'll wait and see how it plays out. This is going to be a very interesting matchup to say the very least. But yeah, we got nothing more to add on that one. So the next thing that we did have on the show was a tag team turmoil match. So the winners gets a shot at the WWE Tag Team Championships. So we started it out with Motor City Machine Guns versus Axiom. Motor City Machine Guns were eliminated by Axiom and Nathan Frazier and Axiom winning the match in 7 minutes and 50 seconds. Then we had Axiom versus Los Garza, and Los Garza stuns Axiom and Nathan Frazier, so they move on. The total time of the fall at that time was 10 minutes and 20 seconds. Then the Wyatts, they got upsetted by Los Garza as they got eliminated. So we were up at that point to 15 minutes and 50 seconds. And the final tag team of the turmoil match was Damian Priest and R-Truth, an unlikely alliance, but the winners of the bout. And the total time of roughly 23 minutes and 10 seconds, the new number 1 contenders for the WWE Tag Team Championships are Damian Priest and R-Truth. They win it all. Michael Bullock, you kind of have the feeling this is a little bit of a shocker. Damian Priest and R-Truth, the most unlikeliest pairs of tag team, but they now get a shot at the gold. They get to fight against Solo Sikoa and the boys. They get the shot next.
Yeah, and the thing is, I mean, I think they've been pushing this team because we've seen Fletch the backstage interaction with R-Truth and Damian Priest. So I think you kind of had the feeling that maybe this team was going to go over. So we'll see what happens now that they get the opportunity to against the MFTs for those WWE Tag Team Championships. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, these tag team turmoils, I mean, they're usually tough to rate when it's but I'm gonna give it a shot here, and I'm gonna give it maybe 3.5. So it's yours, Fletch.
Yeah, this one really kind of caught me off guard. I didn't really think that, R-Truth and Damian were gonna win it, but they did. I think it's fine. I know there's some people out there that's like, really, these two together? Because, when you get 2 single stars mashed up as a tag team, I know there's some people out there that's gonna dump all over this because of the fact that where was the other elite, like where were the elite teams that normally are there? But you had Motor City Machine Guns, you had Axiom. I mean, there were some elite teams, but you had them at the very beginning of the match. Why did you hold them off until later on? I don't know, man. It's a little interesting, but it is what it is. I'm not mad about it, but give it a chance. Let's see what happens. Fresh faces going after the tag team titles. You can't be mad about it, but yeah. So I'll give this about 3.25. Anthony, it's yours.
The match played out like any other gauntlet match. Most of the action was entertaining, but something was holding it back. It might have something to do with the division being booked poorly in recent months, which kept this from being as exciting as it could be. The exclusion of the Street Profits was also a weird choice, especially since they have barely been used recently. And another team that comes to mind, I mean, I know they're not together anymore for obvious reasons, but DIY. It's kind of sad that DIY was not in this. Tommaso Ciampa, he is doing well in AEW, but DIY was one of the best duos WWE had. Now, let's go back to that first match, which was the Motor City Machine Guns against Fraxium. There was a little controversy here. Alex Shelley got Chris Sabin's foot on the rope, but referee Dan Engler did not see it in time, and it was hard to tell what was supposed to happen here. There may have been a botch there. I don't know. And that's all that, and that's definitely something to keep an eye on. And then later in the night, it looked like there might have been a little bit of some trouble in paradise between Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley. So we shall see where that goes. But I'll give this about 3 to 3 1/4, maybe 3 1/2. I mean, Bullock is absolutely right about this. I mean, these matches are very tricky to rate. Very tricky. So, but I think 3 to 3 1/4 would be the appropriate rating here. So, Damian Priest and R-Truth, they get the title shot. We don't know when that's going to happen, but we'll wait and see. So, Priest and R-Truth against the MFTs down the road. We'll keep an eye out on programming. It could be on a future Smackdown. Heck, they could save it for Mania if they wanted to. I don't know, but we'll see.
Yeah, I doubt. I kind of have a feeling
we're
probably going to get it
before.
We're probably going to get it well before WrestleMania. I mean, that match. Yeah,
I could see it.
But we'll see.
3 1/4. Let's move on.
Next up, we had was there was the promo segment between Jade Cargill and Rhea Ripley. We're not going to get into this because I heard a lot of people poo-pooed over this segment. A lot of people did not like this at all. So we're not going to waste our time with this one. We had Obafemi. Well, Johnny Gargano did an open challenge. Obafemi answered it and destroyed Gargano in 1:05. Done. Nothing more on that one. Then the next thing that we had, well, all right, guys. The main event for the WWE title. Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre. Winner of the bout in 20 minutes and 40 seconds. And new WWE champion, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. He wins the matchup. And as of now, your match at WrestleMania will be Cody Rhodes putting the WWE title on the line against Randy Orton. Michael Bullock, it is yours, my friend. History has been made. Unprecedented crowning. Cody Rhodes is once again the World Wrestling Entertainment Heavyweight Champion.
Three-peat.
It's a three-peat. What was the time again, Fletch?
20 minutes and 40 seconds.
Well, obviously, I'm going to give this the fight of the night here. And the thing I liked about it is that obviously it was commercial free. And also, Mark Nash, of course, they're saying that the match could only end by pinfall or submission. That's the way I liked it. So, but we did get a little bit of an overbook, but not as much as what even Anthony Florio anticipated. Because we did get Jacob Fatu. So, but that was the only thing. We didn't get anything else. So, but in the end, I mean, Cody Rhodes is the champion in a match that I thought was good. And like I said, fight of the night, I'm going to give it about maybe 4 stars. And Fletch, you said you wanted Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton at WrestleMania, and you got it. You got the mentor against the mentee, and now it's going to be for the big prize for the championship. And what does this mean for Drew McIntyre? Plain and simple. Him and Jacob Fatu at WrestleMania. I mean, why would Jacob Fatu go out there and do what he did? It's obviously setting up for these two at Mania, so no doubt about it. So nothing more to say. Fletch, we're getting Rhodes and Orton at WrestleMania, and as far as I'm concerned, that's a better matchup than McIntyre against Orton. And then, of course, it's all going to lead to McIntyre against Jacob Fatu at WrestleMania.
Yeah. It was a little bit of a disappointment. I mean, I know a lot of people are not happy that Cody's won the title again. There was a few people that were hoping for an overbook. We got the overbook. But at the end of the day, look, you can say whatever you want to say. Cody winning the match, it was expected. A lot of people were like, man, what are we going to do? And what's going to happen now? And, the whole 9 yards. And look, he won it. He's the champion. He now goes on to, he goes on and now he fights for the title. He puts the title on the line against Randy Orton. Now the question becomes is, what's that going to look like heading into Mania? So this is going to be very interesting because, like you said, this is mentor versus mentee. Cody versus Orton. And that's going to be very interesting. There was some people out there that was wondering about, how is things going to look going into it? I don't know. But at the end of the day, Cody did it. He's the champion of the world again. He gets the belt back. And a lot of people was like, are you kidding me? So he had to go. So he went through Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber. He did the whole road. And now he gets the belt back literally on one foul swoop. Now, the thing was, it was 2 ref bumps. Charles Robinson got taken out during the match. So did Dan Angler. He got taken out in the match. So at the end of the day, that's how it went down. I know a few people were a little angry about Cody winning, but hey, it is what it is. Cody wins it. He's successful. He is once again the heavyweight champion of the world, the WWE world champion. And now, like you said, here we go. So, yeah, Anthony Florio, it's all yours. Cody Orton now face off in the main event of night 1 of WrestleMania as it stands.
You ready, MF?
Here we go.
Your guy, Randy Orton. My guy, Cody Rhodes. Did I have this one? Did I have this one when we did that Chamber recap show last week? Didn't I have this one?
Yeah, we called you. You kind of called it. I was a little hesitant because of the fact that I was worried about Jacob. I was worried about Sammy getting involved, and I still feel like they're going to get involved. I kind of feel like the way I'm thinking this could go is I think 15 is going to happen. Because I think Sammy's going to screw Cody at Mania. And I think that's going to help Randy Orton become the champion of the world.
Could be. You never know. But I'll be honest with you, MF. You said on the Chamber show when Randy Orton won the Chamber that you marked out like a crazy man. I'll be honest. Maybe not as crazy as you, but I did mark out when Cody won the title here tonight because not just because of my love for Cody Rhodes, of course, but for the bigger reason. The match we all wanted. Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania 42. Guaranteed to be the night 1 main event. I'm going to share a little something about this in just a moment, but let me get to the business at hand first. These two men have known each other for a long time, so they had years of chemistry to draw from to make this a fun and physical main event. While the outcome will anger some fans, this was undeniably a great match. This is definitely fight of the night. This was 4 to 4.25 stars. And WWE did the entrances and the official introductions and then went right into a commercial break. It seemed like weird timing. But Joe Tessitore said it was the last break of the night, so the final 20 minutes was commercial-free. Now then, as far as this match goes right here, You know the rumor roundup dirt sheet that I read every first thing every morning. Excuse me. And I want to read an excerpt from one of these rumor roundups from earlier in the week. This particular rumor roundup came. This is from Wednesday's installment. According to Self-Made Pro, Cody Rhodes defending the WWE Championship against Randy Orton is the plan for WrestleMania and has been for some time. PW Insider Elite has backed this up, saying the belief was that Drew was going to lose the title on SmackDown tonight, but it was not a reflection of his work, but rather how much WWE wanted to do Cody and Randy. And then from there, this is from yesterday's sheet. Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, the current plan for WrestleMania. Fightful Select added that Rhodes and Orton have been aware of the plan as far back as January. Think about that. Far back as January. Fightful also heard that one of the reasons why they took the title off of Cody in January was so that he would be featured in the Royal Rumble and Elimination Chamber matches, adding to the draw of those shows. And then on Body Slam's Patreon, however, the WWE didn't start talking about Orton versus Rhodes until last month, and that Cody and Drew just found out last week. They hear McIntyre will face Jacob Fatu at WrestleMania now, and then Drew will take time off immediately following Mania to go film Highlander. Yes, Highlander movie. Just like the legendary television show that had one of the greatest TV theme songs of all time, a theme song that MF and we used to rock out to back in the day. Princes of the Universe by Queen. Oh, I'm definitely getting some memories about that. But anyways, Drew McIntyre will be filming the Highlander movie. That's going to be kick-ass. I can't wait to see that when they get done with that and when that eventually comes out. But nonetheless, Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, undisputed WWE Championship, WrestleMania 42. I think we can basically pencil this in as the night one main event. And man, oh man, me and MF. Oh, this is the match. I mean, this is the match that MF and I wanted more than anything else. I mean, ever since Cody made his epic return 4 years ago at WrestleMania 38, I mean, everybody was thinking about this match. And after everything Randy's been through, including that year and a half he was out with that back injury at the hands of the Bloodline, all roads lead to Vegas. All roads lead to Allegiant. And mark my words, there ain't going to be no kumbaya moment when it comes to this match. I believe possibly during this match, someone is definitely going to go heel. Someone's going to turn heel. And whoever that is, that man is going to leave Allegiant as the WWE champion. Enjoy these two as, as the baby faces of the company, because it's not going to be long before one of them turns heel. And I believe that's going to happen at Mania. That's just my early thought on it. But so much for my prediction of Sammy showing up. But MF, you had it. You had Jacob showing up, and he did. And there we go. So 4 to 4 1/4 stars. Yes, you can call the outcome predictable. I know. We all saw this coming from a mile away, and not everybody's going to be happy about this. I get it, but Cody versus Orton for the title at WrestleMania. Let's go. Let's do it. Get us to Allegiant now. I can't wait 6 weeks for this, but we're going to have to. MF, may the best man win. Simple. Let's do it.
All right, we'll see. All right, so let's go into overall review. A solid show. Yes, a lot of people are going to be talking about the ending and, promo segments, everything else. I thought this was a 7.5 out of 10. I thought they did a fine job with the show. Nothing more to add. So, Anthony, give us your thoughts. Then we'll toss it to Bullock, and then we'll preview Vengeance Day.
Indeed, we will. Tonight's episode of SmackDown did a good job addressing the Elimination Chamber fallout while also putting the focus toward WrestleMania 42. Other than the Oba Femi Johnny Gargano match being a squash, everything on the show felt like it worked. The tag team turmoil match was a bit lacking, but having R-Truth and Damian Priest win it creates an interesting opportunity to freshen up the tag title scene. Carmelo Hayes and Dr. Wagner put on a great show, but all eyes were on the main event tonight. This was Cody Rhodes' final opportunity to win back the title and earn a spot in another WrestleMania main event. Having Cody Rhodes win back the title this soon, to some people, is shocking, and having it happen on a regular episode of SmackDown is even more surprising, but that also helped elevate the show. Having Cody reclaim the title just 2 months after losing it is going to be a controversial decision among fans, so it will be interesting to see how WrestleMania plays out. So, yeah, solid 7.5 out of 10. I can definitely agree with that. So not much more. Michael Bullock, let's get your quick thoughts on tonight's show, and then we'll preview NXT Vengeance Day.
Yeah, I'll give this about 7.5 as well. I mean, yes, along besides the squash match, I mean everything else I thought was good. So yeah, there's really nothing more for me to say. So let's get into our preview of Vengeance Day.
All right, guys, and we're gonna dive right on in with it right now. 5 matches on the fight card. We're gonna start it out with a one-on-one matchup. Tony D'Angelo going up against Dion Lennox of Dark State. I'm going to give it to Tony D. Tony D'Angelo just came back. It looks like they're pushing him. It looks like he may be the next guy to go after the NXT title. I kind of feel like right now this is how it's going to play out. I got really nothing more to add. Give me Tony D'Angelo to defeat Dion Lennox. Anthony, it's yours.
Tony D'Angelo will be competing in only his second televised match back following his hiatus after losing his Don of NXT status. Despite defeating former family members, Channing Stacks Lorenzo and Luca Crucifino in a match back in July, since his return at Deadline in December, where he made an impact by taking out Iron Survivor winner Javon Evans, D'Angelo has made it his mission to take out Dark State, the faction with whom the family was feuding with before their own breakup last year. D'Angelo has taken out every member of Dark State outside of Dion Lennox, who has proved in many ways to be the faction's leader. They'll go face-to-face at Vengeance Day, and Tony D is walking out of this event victorious. He has not done much since his return, outside of taking out the majority of Dark State in backstage segments, though he did defeat Cutler James in his first match back in February. Having D'Angelo lose here, in my opinion, would be a big mistake when NXT is trying to set him up as this new brutal character who is likely headed toward the NXT championship scene. His return has already been a bit confusing, as he first targeted Javon Evans, who had nothing to do with Dark State, and then Tony D pivoted toward Dark State, who did not exactly have a direct outward tie to his hiatus, with his last match being the family triple threat. Dion Lennox can take the loss here, but I'm not convinced Tony D can. And that's why I'm almost all in on the former Don here. D'Angelo is going to finish his domination at Dark State, but just what is next for him is not entirely clear. So I do agree. Winner of this match will be Tony D'Angelo. Michael Bullock, are we going to make it unanimous?
Yeah, I'm going to make it unanimous, and I'm going to go with Tony D'Angelo as well. So let's move on.
All right, next up we have is a street fight, one-on-one. Jada Parker, Miss Parker, if you're nasty, goes up against the lovely, the vibrant Blake Monroe, Anthony Florio. This is going to be fun. This is going to be a good one. It's yours.
Absolutely. The glamour Blake Monroe looks to be getting extreme once again as she takes on Jada Parker tomorrow night at Vengeance Day in a street fight. Parker returned to the ire of Monroe in January, making her first televised appearance since October of last year, interrupting her during the latest of her promos, taking issue with Thea Hale taking her women's North American title. They met in a match on February 10th, but it ended in a double countout with the pair getting a little too invested in their fight. Parker got the next laugh, costing Monroe a women's speed tournament match against Thea Hale, and that prompted Blake Monroe to say that she had brought the hell out of her and made the challenge for a street fight. Monroe is the now this could go either way. It really can. I mean, out of all the matches on this card, this is the one I'm having the hardest time with. I mean, with this being a street fight, it opens up the door for nefarious means, and the general feeling is I believe Monroe could use her first win of 2026 if she is going to get back on track. Ms. Parker at least has a win over Nikita Lyons this year, while Monroe has not won a match since she retained the North American Championship over Sol Ruca at back in November at the Gold Rush at the theater at Madison Square Garden. So ultimately, time will tell who proves the victor tomorrow night. But it's very tough. But I'm gonna take a chance here, and I'm gonna go with Blake Monroe to win this. But I would not at all be surprised if Ms. Parker somehow wins this. But street fight rules, that guarantees nefarious means. So because of that, I got to give a slight edge to Blake to win. So not much more. Michael Bullock, very tough call for me. I'm going to take a chance on Blake Monroe, but don't be surprised if Ms. Parker finds a way to win this either.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Blake Monroe as well. And like you even said, she's yet to have a win in 2026. And I think this is where she finally gets it. And who knows, maybe this is where she gets back on track. So I'm going to go with Blake Monroe, but I would not be surprised if Jada Parker wins it. So it's yours, Fletch.
Yeah, this is a tough one. I'm actually going to go against the grain, boys. I'm going to say Jada wins it. I think she kind of needs the momentum more than Blake. I think Blake will be fine if she loses. I don't think she'll be hurt if she loses this matchup. So I really got nothing more to say. I'll go with Jada Parker. I'm going to go against the grain. Lone wolf in this. Ow! As we would normally do. So, yes. Now we're going underground. NXT Underground. Lola Vice going one-on-one with Kalani Jordan. Michael Bullock, you know the rules on Underground. There really are no rules. You win it by either submission or by knockout. Who wins this? Who gets it? Lola versus Kalani.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen this before, and yeah, I mean, this could go either way. But look, I'm actually gonna go with Lola Vice here. I mean, because Kalani did win the previous match between the two, and I think Lola's gonna get her payback. So I'm gonna go with Lola Vice. So it's yours, Fletch.
I'm gonna go with Lola under one little caveat, which I'm a little nervous. Are they going to sell the hand injury? Because if they do, this might actually go Kalani's way. I think Kalani could win it if they force Lola to sell that broken wrist or the broken hand. Because if that becomes a factor, Kalani could actually win this. So I'm gonna go with Lola, but I'm not 1,000% sure about this one. Anthony, it is yours.
With all due respect to Kalani Jordan and all the work she's put in over her time in WWE, as well as the work she's put in as a heel, she is not the kind of ass kicker required for an NXT Underground match. Lola Vice has never lost an Underground match, and I don't think her streak is going to end at Vengeance Day. Kalani Jordan is athletic. She is coordinated, but I just don't think of her as a hard-hitting wrestler like Lola. I don't think it will be an easy win for Lola, as she has to catch the slippery Jordan to either submit her or knock her out. But as long as Vice maintains some kind of momentum in the bout, I expect Kalani Jordan to be on her back foot the entire way through. Kalani Jordan also has held the Women's North American Championship as well as the TNA Knockouts Championship, whereas it doesn't feel like Lola has had the same opportunities. A win tomorrow night could quickly correct that and put Lola on track for either the North American or NXT women's titles. So for me, I'm going with Lola Vice to win this match. So give me Lola to win. Let's move on to our next match.
All right, we got two matches left. The NXT Women's North American title on the line. The champion, Izzy Dane, putting the title on the line against Tatum Paxley. All right, this is... I want to go Izzy here, but something tells me I think Tatum's going to win this. I don't know why. I kind of feel like unless there's a screw job finish here, I think Tatum's going to win the gold. I don't know why. I just got this weird feeling that Tatum's going to win the belt tomorrow night. So I'm going to go with Tatum Paxley in an upset and new Women's North American Champion. Anthony, it is yours.
This could go either way. I mean, very tough to call, I'll be honest. So this is another one that I've had a hard time with. The argument for Izzy Dame is a simple one. It feels a little early for her to lose the title. She's held it for 60 days and has only notched one single defense so far. Even Stephanie Vaquer notched 2 successful title defenses in her 45 days as the women's champion last year. Blake Monroe only had 1 successful title defense during her reign, but she was never supposed to lose the title to Thea Hale, so that barely counts. Excuse me. Considering there have been 3 champions in the last 4 months and change, one would think NXT would be very interested in keeping things stable and giving Izzy a lengthy title reign. That said, isn't it about time for Paxley to come out on top in her feud with Dame and the Culling? She and Izzy are 1-1 in singles matches, and Paxley did win their most recent bout at New Year's Evil. But Izzy won the North American title later on that same night, so she didn't exactly feel vanquished, given that she's the only person so far who has been able to dethrone JC Jane for the NXT Women's Championship. The Yellow Brand clearly sees something in Paxley. Maybe she's the one who gets the longer, stable title reign. Maybe that's why Dame won it in the first place. Hard choice to make, but you know what? I'm going to take a chance. MF, I could see it. I'm going to say winner and new Women's North American Champion, Tatum Paxley. However, do not be surprised if Izzy finds a way to retain. I wouldn't. So,
no.
But I'm going to take a chance and go with it with Tatum to win the title. So, not much more. Michael Bullock, tough to call, I know, but are we going to make it unanimous again, or are you going to go on your own and go with Izzy to retain? What do you got?
Oh, I'm going to make it unanimous, and I'm going to go with Tatum Paxley to become the new North American champion. So that's how I see it. So let's move on.
All right, guys, it leads us into the main event of the evening for the NXT Championship. The champion, Joe Henry, versus Ricky Saint. Anthony Florio, you lead off on the main event of the evening.
It was just over a month ago that Joe Henry won the NXT Championship, which had previously been relinquished to make way for Obafemi's main roster call-up. 2 months prior, Obafemi conquered Ricky Saints to regain the NXT Championship at Deadline. And just 2 months before that at No Mercy, Ricky Saints dethroned Obafemi. Needless to say, the latest NXT Championship reigns have not been rich in length. Femi's second reign, despite ending it on purpose, spanned a mere 31 days. Meanwhile, Ricky Saints stretched 70 days. In Henry's case, his title run has just surpassed 30 days, with the potential of concluding at the hands of Ricky Saints at Vengeance Day. Admittedly, the sight of Ricky Saints regaining the NXT Championship would feel like poetic justice to some, as his first one seemed to end abruptly. More importantly, that title loss interrupted a wave of momentum that could have catapulted Saints into a top babyface position. Instead, he awkwardly turned heel and then was playing off-key concerts. Despite the karmic relief a Saints win might bring, I'm confident that NXT will further capitalize on its current top babyface, Joe Henry. After all, Henry does good numbers across social media, and we all know WWE loves good numbers. Speaking of numbers, I also imagine that WWE will want to boost the amount of days in Henry's NXT Championship reign, especially considering the aforementioned short reigns before his and the fact that the company left the title vacant for a whole month as well. So, for me, winner and still the NXT champion. Say his name and he appears. Joe Henry. Michael Bullock, what says you?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Joe Henry to retain. So You have the final say, Fletch.
And I agree. It's a unanimous decision. Joe Henry, and still the NXT champion. That is my prediction as well. And gentlemen, we are done for the night. We will be back tomorrow night. I would say close to 10 o'clock. And we'll do the recap of Vengeance Day. And then on Tuesday, we'll do another edition of Ridiculously Raw, hosted by Anthony Florio. And we'll have the fallout from NXT. We'll have Monday Night Raw, Ridiculously Raw. And then on Friday, 1 week from now, will be another edition of the Cerebral Smack Talk. We don't have anything up the moment for TXN Sports World. Probably not for a little bit. So that's been put on the back burner. But like we said, we still got a lot of wrestling content for you, y'all. So we'll be back, and we'll be back better than ever, and we'll be ready to go. So guys, thank you, Anthony Florio. Thank you, Michael Bullock. Thank you, everybody. Share, like, comment, share this with all your friends on all the social media platforms. Be a friend, tell a friend, say something nice. You could actually change their freaking life, man. With that, you know the routine. Hugs and hand pounds. We are out. Have a good night. So long for now, and we will see you on Tuesday.